Yeah, so Arin at Monarch Physical Therapy, what do you fix?
So I exclusively treat women, and I fix pelvic floor problems, orthopedic problems, things from pregnancy and postpartum all the way to, women that are in their retirement years that are having problems that they might have been struggling with throughout their lives, and they're just now ready to address it. But really my focus is to help empower women physically and mentally so that they can live their best life completely symptom-free.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Can you zone in on like one diagnosis or one problem that real people with real stories have, and just explain to us how do you fix that?
Yeah, so why don't I start with incontinence, because I feel like that's one that a lot of people are aware of. So incontinence just means that you leak urine, bowel, either, without you're not wanting your body to do that, obviously. And so with that, I do a lot of things. I like to really hone in on people's lifestyles, because your living day to day obviously affects what is happening in your body. And so I like to figure out, what are we putting in our body? Are we putting bladder irritants, drinking caffeine, coffee, soda, that type of thing all day long, and having absolutely no water, because that will play a huge role into incontinence. And then as a pelvic floor provider, as you are, I can provide pelvic floor physical therapy by performing an internal exam on my patients, and so we can really assess their pelvic floor tissue and muscles and figure out, maybe we're holding on to a lot of tension in our pelvic floor, maybe we're not, and we need to work on strengthening it. And there's an array of things that goes with that, but for example, incontinence is something that I treat pretty regularly.
Okay, yeah, that's great, thank you. Yeah, and this is a big question, a loaded one, but yeah, why should people trust you to take care of incontinence? Or you can switch diagnoses or problems. So
I think people should trust me because I am so confident in the results that I provide my patients with. I know as a fact, if you come and see me, we are going to get you where you want to be, and we're going to work together to get there. And again, I think something that sets me apart from other therapists is that I really like to hone in on the mental aspect as well as the physical aspect of whatever symptoms somebody is having, because I think they go hand in hand at the end of the day. Whatever story you're telling yourself about the symptoms you're experiencing are almost just as important as the physical things that I might find in an evaluation with a patient that we need to work on.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so yeah, thanks. That's perfect. That's the bottom line. This video series exists so that we can introduce patients to people with real stories who actually fix real problems. So because, shout out to Justin Lewis, my friend, guaranteed medical insurance does not guarantee guaranteed health care, as you well know. So yeah, and just because Arin and I have letters behind our name, that doesn't guarantee that we can actually fix anything. I'm thinking Tommy Boy here, just because I slap guaranteed on the box, that doesn't mean I can actually have a good product to share. So yeah, so yeah, thank you for anyone joining us. And Arin, do you mind telling us how you got to where you are to be fixing things like incontinence or other pelvic health related issues for women?
Yeah, so I have an interesting story. I was actually an accountant in another life, which I think I've shared some of that with you. I started my adult life out as an accountant. I went and got my bachelor's degree, thought I was going to be a CPA, started working in corporate America, and quickly ran into a lot of health problems. And so throughout that, I actually ended up having a bunch of thyroid issues. I thought I had thyroid cancer. Thankfully, I didn't. But I did have to have my thyroid taken out, which the emblem for, how for breast cancer, they do like the pink ribbon. For thyroid cancer, it's the butterfly, which is why my business is called Monarch Physical Therapy and Wellness.
Organ, right?
Exactly. I love it.
Clever.
Yes. So anyway, with all of that, and through just dealing with health stuff, I really felt like through my journey, there were a lot of things that got shoved under the rug, and I'm very passionate about specifically helping women. As a female, I think that was just, I heard a lot of times like, well, that's just kind of a normal part of being a girl, that's kind of just how it's supposed to be, and I don't think that that is factual. I think that we can do a lot of things. That's not an empowering statement telling somebody that, that's just a normal part of aging, or that's just a normal part of being a woman. So anyway, throughout all of that, I decided I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to do something that I felt like was helping serve another person and helping their quality of life be better. And so I shadowed a bunch of different professions. I considered becoming a nurse or a nurse anesthetist, thought about going to med school, and ended up on therapy.
Okay.
And so I went to physical therapy school. While I was in PT school, I took all the women's health and pelvic floor electives that I could, and then got Herman and Wallace certified shortly after that, and kind of just hit the ground running ever since.
Went from there. Okay, yeah. And was that an intentional, like, you knew you were doing therapy to do women's health? Or was it...
I would say by the third year, by second to third year, I knew that's exactly what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And I didn't know how, but I knew that was where I was going to end up.
Okay, and why therapy instead of med school or nurse anesthetist training?
Honestly, because I don't like needles.
Okay.
And I didn't want to, I don't like needles. I was like, I don't want to have to do any of that stuff. But so when I was shadowing different professions, I felt like the physical therapist and occupational therapist, shout out to you guys too, and speech therapists, all of them, I felt like I could watch them come alongside their patients and meet them where they're at and help them get to where they want to go. And so I think just to be a part of that beautiful journey, that was what really drew me to become a therapist. And nothing against other professions. I know that they get to do a lot of meaningful work as well, but that's what I felt like I was called to do.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Thanks. Yeah, anything else you want to share about your journey getting here to helping women with women's health issues?
No, I think that's really kind of it. That's my start to finish story, if you will.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for sharing. So,
absolutely.
Okay, and we're going to end the video series with a squirrel question.
Yep.
So, if you could choose any vista to go to, any scenery to go to, where would you go and why?
Definitely the beach. With my husband, I think if we could be sitting on the beach, that would be where I would pick.
Okay.
Just there's something about the sound of the ocean that really suits me, and I feel like it just calls me, and just even the sensation of that soft sand on my fingertips just really puts me in a lovely space, very zen. So I'd say those.
And it's warm, right?
Oh,
it's
yes.
Not
no,
cold
it's not cold.
Okay,
No, I'd prefer not a cold beach.
I
mean, those exist, so that's a fair question.
There's something about cold sand too. It's like that's pleasing. Yeah.
Really?
Cools the feet. Like a nice bath in the legs after a workout or something.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, but you meant warm. So,
I meant warm.
Okay. Yeah.
I want it to burn a little bit.
That's really good. That's really good. So well, thank you, Arin. Anything else you want to share at all?
I think so.
Just good. Okay, thank you so much for taking the time. This has been, we're calling it the #FixIt video series. So where you, a real person with a real problem, or someone that you know with a real problem, can meet and get to know a real person with a real story who can actually fix your problem, apart from just having the degree or the profession. Or being a medical professional in the healthcare system. It's someone who can actually help that you can get to know. So don't forget to like and subscribe. That helps other people with real stories and real problems find this video to get to know people like Arin. So thank you from Renewal Physical Therapy.